Well, welcome to chapter 16. As you know, in this series of online by Joe Lane, we're going through, in Business 101, we're going through the marketing chapters right now. You'll take principles of marketing with me probably the next semester or two, and that's Business 201. But so far we've covered in the marketing chapters, we talked about product. Well, first of all, in chapter 13, we just kind of introduced marketing as a whole. Here's what marketing is all about. Then in chapter 14, we talked about product. Also in chapter 14, we talked about how to price products and how companies price products. In chapter 15, we talked about placement of products, channels of distribution, wholesalers, retailers, that sort of thing. In chapter 16, we're going to pick up the last of the 4 P's, which is promotion. When folks produce products or grow products that they're trying to bring about an exchange with, they've got to let people know about their product. They've got to let them know they have them. They've got to let them know how good their product is, why you want that product, why that product can help you. So that's promotion of the product. Now, as you can well understand, there are tons and tons of ways to promote products. Social media is a huge way to do it. Television, radio, billboards, there's all kinds of ways that you can promote products. So we're not going to exactly talk about what is specifically for this, and this, but we're just going to talk about promotion in general. Okay. So as we get started into chapter 16, if you look at your handout, I have defined for you what promotion is. It's kind of interesting. If you have a textbook, the author talks about chapter 16 is today's promotional techniques, but he didn't exactly define what promotion is. So I did that for you on your handout. Promotion is an effort by marketers, these folks right here, to inform and remind people in their target market about products and provide them to participate in an exchange. Now let me read that 2 more times. I know you say, wait a minute, why 2 more? I'll tell you. Let's do this again. An effort by marketers to inform and remind people, us, that are in their target market, folks that they think are most likely to buy their product, about their products, and persuade us to participate in an exchange. Let me read that 1 more time. Get us to buy something. What they're trying to do with promotion is get us to buy something, get us to buy one of their products. There's something called, we have the marketing mix right here. That's the 4 P's. We've already talked about. That's almost an absolute 100% no question on test number 3. Well, the promotion mix, don't get that confused with the promotion mix. The promotion mix are the different ways that you can promote products. If I ask you, well, how do you promote? You'd say, well, you advertise. Well, advertising is one way that you promote products. But let's go ahead and just kind of go through these right now, and then we'll talk about each one of them a little bit. One of the ways that you can promote products is through advertising. A second way is through personal selling. A third way is sales promotion, and then you can promote by public relations and publicity. So those 4 things make up the promotion mix. Now something else, if you happen to look at my handout, you can see on there IMC. And I really didn't say much about IMC, but it's kind of important. Let me put it down here, IMC. That's Integrated Marketing Communications. Wow, that sounds impressive. Integrated Marketing Communications. Here's what IMC means. Let's take all the different ways that products are promoted. Now, would you guess already, and I know you know, do you think companies just use one way to promote their product? Well, no. They use advertising. Some companies use personal selling, especially if it's specialty goods, and some upper-end shopping goods. They use sales promotion. So they use a combination of these. Integrated marketing communications means this. When you're trying to promote your product, when you're trying to promote your company to the customer, make sure that all you do speaks in one voice. So what does that mean? That means you shouldn't send out conflicting reports. You shouldn't say one thing when you advertise, but your salespeople say something different. Or this doesn't support this. Wouldn't you think that all of your promotion needs to support just what you're trying to do? You should speak in one voice. Don't confuse people with promotion. You can't be the fastest and the cheapest and the safest, and so whatever you are and however you're trying to differentiate your product, make sure that all you say supports that effort in the same way. Okay, so that's what IMC, Integrated Marketing Communications, is. So let's talk a little bit about the four things that make up the promotion mix. All right, advertising. I'll sit up here and get comfortable. Advertising, you see that every day. Where do you see advertising? If you're out in your car, listening to the radio, advertising. Looking at billboards, advertising. TV, social media, advertising is around us, it seems like every day, all day. What advertising does, now, these different advertisements, these billboards, newspapers, if you happen to run across those, magazines, do the companies pay for that advertising? Well, sure. So if they pay for it, can they make that advertising say what they want it to say? Well, yes, it's their advertising, so they put it out there the way they want to put it out there. It's what they call, in my handout, paid non-personal communications. It's not personal. The billboard doesn't say, "Hey Joe, how are you this morning?" It's paid non-personal, but it's all kinds of billions of dollars are spent in advertising. There's one particular type of advertising that I want to talk about for just a second, product placement. Have you ever noticed sometimes in TV shows or in movies where the actors, actresses will be using a particular product? That's called product placement. Why would they do that? Well, it's pretty simple. If this actor or this actress uses this, gosh, it must be a good product. My very best example of that is Walker, Texas Ranger. Although that show has not been on in a long time, people still remember Walker, Texas Ranger. And I bet you if I ask you, what kind of vehicle did Ranger Walker drive? A lot of you tell me he drove a Dodge, and that's right. Now, if you happen to ever watch Walker, Texas Ranger, and he's in a Chevrolet, that was season 1. The next 9 seasons, he was in a Dodge because Chrysler Corporation, who produces Dodge, cut a deal with Chuck Norris's production company. And so that Dodge vehicle, did they pay for that arrangement, Chrysler? Yes. But what do you think happened to the sale of Dodge trucks? Went up substantially. Now, personal selling. Now, you can't personally sell Doritos, M&Ms. You can't personally sell shopping goods or most shopping goods. Why? Because it'd be too expensive. And you don't want a personal salesperson. If I go in a convenience store for a package of M&Ms, I don't want to have to go see Fred for M&Ms. But higher-end shopping goods and specialty goods, houses and cars, higher-end jewelry, higher-end TVs, entertainment systems, furniture, things like that, those a lot of times are personally sold. So can the person who's doing that personal selling, can they certainly do some promotion of that product? Wow, yeah. It's kind of the best promotion of all because it's one-on-one promotion. It's one-on-one promotion. By the way, we talk about career sometime in business. Personal sales is a great career. If you like people, your skin's a little bit thick. You're not going to sell every time you try to make a presentation. But I tell you, if you like people and you love your product, you can do really, really well with personal sales. All right, let's look at the third one. I'll jump over here since this is one in your study guide, public relations and publicity. Now, sometimes you'll see something on TV or on the radio and it'll say such and such hospital ranked number 1 in healthcare, ranked number 1 in surgery. Okay. Are they trying to sell a particular product at that hospital? Hey, come in, get one surgery, and we'll give you the next one half price. That's not what they're doing. When they're doing an advertisement like that, they're not trying to sell a product. They're trying to sell themselves. They're trying to sell themselves. They want the public to understand who they are. They want the public to accept who they are and to understand that they're really good at what they do as a company. As a company. Our company is, all of our products are made in the USA. We are American made through and through. Things like that is where you're doing public relations. You're not selling a particular product, you're selling your company. Is that important? Absolutely, absolutely. Because a lot of times we as customers, we'll buy the product, but if we like the company and we feel like the company stands for what we can stand for, as y'all I know y'all know, pardon, my lights went out. As y'all know, I'm very patriotic. Very patriotic. I like that sort of things. I'm very much into veterans organizations and that type of thing. So do I trade with companies that tend to support the same sort of things that I feel deeply in? Yes. So public relations. Now, I put on your handout a couple of things here about what good public relations does. If you're using public relations, here's the best way you can use it in your company. First of all, listen to the public. What is it the public wants to know? Then, or what is it the public desires as far as your product? Then, number 2, change your policies and procedures to do what the company wants, and then inform them that you're meeting their needs. Let me give you an example of that. The Ford dealership here in Monroe, it's Banner Ford now, it was a different name several years ago. They did a promotion and they said, hey, we have found out that our customers would like for us to open our service department on Saturdays because some of them can't get in between 8 and 5 Monday through Friday. So we are now opening our service department on Saturdays until a particular time, and we're letting you know that. See, that's good public relation. Listen to the public. We need something additional from you. Change the policy or procedure. We're giving it to you, and we're letting you know we're doing it. That sales. Now, when you go in and partake of that service, you're going to pay them something, but not only are you buying their product service, but you're also doing public relations, showing that you're listening to your customers. By the way, I would say this: a few minutes ago we did the definition of promotion. Make sure I'd be familiar with what promotion is. I think I'd be familiar also with the promotion mix, the things that make up the promotion mix. We talked about IMC, Integrated Marketing Communications. I'd also be familiar with what Integrated Marketing Communications is. And then as we go around through this, I'd be familiar with sort of the things we talked about: advertising, paid, non-personal. I'd be familiar kind of with what a product placement is. And then when it comes to publicity and public relations, I'd be familiar with public relations. What public relations is, it's simply trying to earn the public's understanding and acceptance. But I think I would know the 3 steps in a good public relations campaign or 3 steps in a good public relations program. Those 3 steps are: listen to the public, change your policies and procedures as a result of what you hear, and then inform the citizens that you're doing that. All right, let's look at the other part here. I have publicity. Public relations. When companies put out public relation pieces about their company, do they pay for it? Well, sure. They pay for it just like they pay for advertising. But now let's talk about publicity. Where does publicity come from? It comes from the media. It starts with the media. All right. Let's take Delta Community College. Have we gotten some great publicity from the media over the years? Yeah. Now, here's the deal. In public relations, you pay for public relation pieces. Those are things you put together and you put out. You pay for it, and you can say whatever it is that you want to say about your company. In this case, say Delta Community College. And we put out some public relations stuff occasionally. But publicity starts with the media. The media says something about Delta Community College. Now, the good thing is you don't have to pay for publicity. The bad thing is you can't control it. So if the media said something really bad about Delta Community College, and fortunately we don't have that happen, that would be bad for us. But publicity and public relations are a little bit different in that where they start. Bad publicity most of the time is bad. If we were in class, I would give you a couple of examples of bad publicity. There was an article about one of our former sheriffs, and it was a headline in the local section of the paper that said local sheriff so-and-so may have violated public law. And that was an article in the paper. That was publicity. Now, do you think the sheriff, when that sheriff saw that in the paper, that they were very happy about that? The answer is no. That kind of publicity they didn't want. My other great example, a long time ago, there used to be a place called Shipley Donuts here in Monroe, before there was a donut place on every corner. Shipley was on Louisville Avenue, and a few years ago, the newspaper did a full page on Shipley Donuts and how the granddaughters had inherited it from their grandfather, and it was just a great full-page article. That wasn't public relations. They didn't pay for that. It was publicity that the company wanted to do. So that's the difference. Okay. Sales promotion. Let's look at that for just a minute. Do you know sometimes you really want something? You'd like to buy something, but you can't quite step over that line and buy it. I really, really would like to have that new car. I'd really like to have that new pair of shoes. We really need a new TV. This 60-inch TV is way too small. We need at least a 90-inch TV. Okay. But I really want it, and I'm right here on the line, but I just can't quite make myself step over that line and buy it. Do you think businesses realize that we step up to the line a lot of times, but we just can't quite make ourselves go over the line? They understand that. So what sales promotion is, and I think I gave it to you, getting a good deal. Sales promotion is giving you incentives to step over that line. All right, let's take a couple of examples. Let's take like clothes or shoes or something like that. What are some things that they do to entice us to step over that line? Think about that. Did you mention something like maybe a 30% reduction in the price? How about BOGO, buy one, get one free? Buy one, get one half off? How about a coupon to reduce the price of that? There's a number of different things that they can do to get us to step over the line. Let's think about that automobile. Wow, what can they do to sometimes entice us to buy that automobile? Again, 18% off of manufacturer suggested retail price, $3,000 cash rebate, highest dollar on your trade-in, free maintenance and oil change for life. You buy the TV, you buy the automobile, and we'll put a TV in 45-inch HD TV free. What are some others? No money down, 72 months to pay, no interest. All those things are sales promotion, things to make us step over the line. And if you're like me, you've probably stepped over the line a few times and bought those things because you're saying, hey, this is really, really a great deal. Okay. So these are the four things that make up the promotion mix. Advertising, paid, non-personal, which we included product placement, both of those being be familiar with items. Personal selling, again, personal selling usually happens with the specialty goods, the higher end goods. But how can you better promote your product than personally one-on-one. That's a great way to do it, with those type products. We know the difference between public relations and publicity. Public relations we pay for just like we pay for advertising as a company. Publicity comes through the media. And then sales promotion, those things that get us to kind of step over the line. I've already mentioned this, but I'll mention it again. Does a company just use one of these? No, or two? They probably use all of them. Now let me mention, I have no stock in Jim Taylor Chevrolet in Rayville, but they do a lot of advertising. Like for instance, do they advertise on TV? Yes. Do they advertise on radio? Yes. Do they advertise on billboards? Yes. Personal selling. Do they have salespeople that will help you make your choice? Yes, they do. Do they use all type of sales promotions? Absolutely, absolutely. And do they use public relations? I've seen a number of pieces that Jim Taylor has done, Chevrolet, where they have teamed up with certain charities to raise a certain amount of money and this sort of thing. So they use all four of the different parts of the promotion mix. And that's probably what most companies do. They don't just use one type of promotion to get to their target markets. They use the types of promotion that best allows them to get to their target market. The last thing in this chapter, he says, look, you got to talk about promotion strategy. Who is it that you want to promote to? There's two basic types of promotion strategy. Now, you're going to look and say, wait a minute, I thought this is what we did in chapter 15. And it is. But I wanted to use this for something else. Here's that business, and here we are. And remember those channels of distribution in chapter 15? Okay. I want to use this and do this. Let's talk about promotion. Let's talk about the promotion that this company does. If they promote directly to us, if they promote to us, the consumers, they advertise to us, they may personally sell to us. I mean, they use the promotion mix towards the customers. This is called a pull strategy. The idea is if we have a high demand for that product, if we say that we really want the product, do you think these agent brokers, wholesalers, and retailers will be sure that they get it in those stores? Well, the answer is of course, because it's going to sell, and that's the name of the game, bringing about an exchange. So a pull strategy is when companies advertise directly to the consumer, and the consumer's over here saying, I want it, and that company, it'll pull it right through the channel of distribution so that they can buy it. Also, companies can do this. They can promote to folks within the channel of distribution. They can give offers and promotions to agent brokers, wholesalers, and retailers in hopes that they will carry their product. We'll give you incentives if you will take our product, carry our product, and it'll end up in a retail store. Because you do that, because if a customer walks in and sees that product in the retail store, they may well buy it. So trying to get your product to the retailer through using the members of the marketing intermediaries is a second way that you can promote. This is called a push strategy. What you're doing here as a company, you're trying to work with agent brokers, wholesalers, and retailers and push your product through the channel of distribution so it can be with retailers so when a customer walks in they can buy it. All right. Here is a trick question. Do companies use the pull method, or do companies use the push method or promotional strategy? Push or pull? I know I heard somebody out there in Never Never Land say both, and both would be correct. Companies don't, just like companies don't use just one promotional strategy, one type of promotion of the mix. They just don't use one of these. They also don't use just one strategy most of the time. They will do some of their promotion here, some of their promotion here. So I would be familiar with what the push strategy is. I'd be familiar with what the pull strategy is. And I think the only no thing that we had in chapter 16 was the 3 steps in a good public relations program. Okay, that finishes chapter 16. We have now finished. If we go back and do this, chapter 12 was the chapter on unions. And we've done that chapter. The 13, 14, 15, and 16 were the marketing chapters. Now, before we take test number 3, we've got one more little chapter to do. And I call that bonus chapter B. So we're gonna do bonus chapter B here in just a few minutes, and we will finish up all the chapters you need for test number 3. So in my keeping with what I've been doing to comply with my boss Ryan Pierce's wishes, I'm getting ready to end chapter 16, and I will do that with a loud finished, done. We'll get into bonus chapter B soon. Thank you.